The book of Psalms, chapter 17 and verse 13. Arise, O Lord Yahweh, disappoint him, cast him down, deliver my soul from the wicked, which is thy sword. First and foremost, I want to give all honor, all glory, all praise to the Heavenly Father, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem, Rakah HaKodash. I want to give double honors to my apostles, my bishops, my elders of Great Millstone. I want to give double honors to the high priest elders that taught those men. Salutations to you brothers that are presenting your bodies as a living sacrifice, pushing the gospel of the Lord Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, through the four corners of the earth. And to you believers, to you I say Shalom. This brother Bomber Lock out of Great Millstone Camp, Austin, coming at you with this quick lesson. And this lesson is going to center around the shooting of Lorenzo Salgado in Houston. You know, the shooting, the ICE shooting that took place in Houston, Texas. And the name of this lesson is, I'm going to just name it, Another One Bites the Dust. Another One Bites the Dust of you Negro, Latinos, and Native Americans, man. That's why I'm coming out of the book of Psalms chapter 17 and verse 3. And then read it once again. It says, Arise, O Lord Yahweh, disappoint him. Who is that him? Esau Edom, so-called self-professed white man, who is the physical counterpart to the spiritual demon Satan on the earth. Disappoint him. Cast him down. Cast this devil down. Isaiah 47, and 1, bring him down to the dust. The verse, it says what? Deliver my soul from the wicked, Esau Edom. The Edomites, the Idumeans, Edom red, Idumean, from the wicked, which is thy sword. And they are the sword of the Most High Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shah against you Negro, Latinos, and Native Americans who are indeed the biblical Israelites. That's why I call this lesson, Another One Bites the Dust. So we're going to go right to this video, and we're going to call fair use, fair use. I'm not making any monetary gains off this video. It's only used for educational purposes only. And what you Negro, Latinos, and Native Americans must understand, it says the man killed Lorenzo Salgado, the man killed in the Houston shooting, was not target of ICE search, officials say. Because see, Esau Edom, he don't give a damn. I'm going to say it like this. Esau Edom don't give a fuck about collateral damage. Esau Edom don't give a fuck about collateral damage. You can take notice of that. A prime example of that was when the war with the Iran started. The first thing them niggas did was what? Drop bombs on a fucking all-girls school. So they don't give a damn about collateral damage, especially when it concerns you Negro, Latinos, and Native Americans. So fair use, I'm not making any monetary gains off this video. It's only used for educational purposes only.
In this week's fatal shooting involving federal agents in Houston. Officials now say the man killed was not the target of the search by ICE.
And his sons are talking to ABC News, saying their father always worried about being robbed, and that may be why he did not stop for the unmarked cars. Here's ABC's Lionel Moise.
This morning, we're learning the Mexican national killed in an ICE operation in Houston was not.
See, he was always concerned about being robbed. That's why he didn't stop from that unmarked ICE vehicle. He didn't stop. See, but the problem was, let's go to the scriptures real quick. I didn't even have this pulled up. Let's go to the book of St. Matthew. The book of St. Matthew, chapter 5, something that need to be taught in the Christian church, but the Christian church don't know these scriptures, so they can't fucking inform the Negro, Latinos, and Native Americans and what they should do when they encounter, with Esau Edom and his slave patrol, his modern day police department. The book of St. Matthew, chapter 5 and verse 25. And it reads, Agree with thine adversary quickly while thou art in the way with him, lest at any time the adversary deliver thee to the judge, and the judge deliver thee to the officer, and thou be cast into prison. But in this case, because Esau Edom has that and pursuing Ezekiel the 35th chapter in the 4th and 5th verse, Esau Edom, they have a perpetual hatred towards you Negro, Latinos, and Native Americans. So you might not be the person, official person that they're looking for, but because they have given that act of immunity, they can delete you Negro, Latinos, and Native Americans at will. See, they can delete y'all at will. That's why I call this Another One Bites the Dust. So, but this is what the church You know, the church is what? It should be what? To build up the population, especially you Negro, Latinos, and Native Americans. That's what the church is supposed to do. The so-called Christian church tell you Negro, Latinos, and Native Americans how to act, call you into repentance. But most importantly, to break down the scriptures. But they can't break down the scriptures because what? The only people who can break down the scriptures on earth today are the prophets. Matter of fact, let's get that real quick, and then we're going to go back to the video. Let's go to the book of Amos, chapter 3, and we're going to read verse 7. And it reads, surely the Most High Yahweh will do nothing, but he revealeth his secret unto his servants, the prophets. See, he revealed his secrets unto the servants, the prophets. Then what are his secrets? The mysteries of the Holy Scriptures, the understanding of the Holy Scriptures are only been given to the prophets. And those prophets are mainly the men of great millstone, starting with our apostles, our bishops, elders, and the archim that are pushing the gospel in the name of the Lord Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shah through the four corners of the earth. So let's go back to this video. It said that the Northern Kingdom guy, that he refused to stop. That's why I gave you St. Matthew, the 5th chapter, and the 25th verse.
The intended target.
As his family has always said, he was a good, solid, decent human being. He was a father. He was a heart.
See, he was a good, solid, decent human being, the lady said. Let's go to the scriptures as well, man. You know, a good, solid human being. The book of Job, chapter 4 and verse 7. Remember, I pray thee, whoever perish being innocent. See, whoever perished being innocent, or where were the righteous cut off? Or where was the righteous cut off? See, the Lord Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shah, so he couldn't have been good, decent, you know, in the eyes of the Most High Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shah. He was a sinner, and he should have been repentant and calling on the names of the Lord Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shah. And maybe the Lord Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shah would have spared his life, gave him mercy, showed him some grace that proved that. Let's go to the book of Deuteronomy. The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 32 and verse 39. It say, see now that I, even I am he. And let's start that over again. The book of Deuteronomy 32 and 39. See now that I, even I am he, and there is no God with me. I kill and I make alive. I wound and I heal. Neither is there any that can deliver out of my hand. See, the Lord Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shah, he kill, he make alive, he wound and he heal. And neither is there any that can deliver, you know, out of his hand. See, so the Lord Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shah brought judgment upon Lorenzo Salgado. He brought judgment on it. See, and I read out of the book of Job 4 and 7. Remember, I pray thee, whoever perished being innocent, or where was the righteous cut off? So let's go back. Let's go back to the video.
Worker.
A Homeland Security official saying 52-year-old Lorenzo Salgado Araujo resembled the target, and officers then initiated the vehicle stop.
See, it's the only one thing about Esau Edom. They swear you Negro, Latinos, and Native Americans, y'all all look alike. And that's the thing with Esau, because he has a perpetual hatred. He don't give a damn if he got the right person, you know, because what? He don't care about collateral damage. Well, you look like the suspect. That's they go-to fucking pull over a probable cause. You look like the person, you know, because Esau, he don't give a damn. That's why it came out of the book of Psalms, the 17th chapter. Let's read that again, see. Let's go back to that. Well, we'll just get it from, where was I at? Let's get it from right here. Let's go back to Psalms. Let's go back to the book of Psalms, the 17th chapter. The book of Psalms, chapter 17 and verse 13 says, arise, O Lord Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shah, disappoint him, cast him down, deliver my soul from the wicked, which is thy sword. You know, and Esau Edom is that sword. And they've been gifted that sword, you know, by our forefather Isaac. You know, he gifted Esau with what? That sword. That was his, he was what? That's his blessing. He was blessed with that damn sword. And he used that sword against you Negro, Latinos, and Native Americans. And that sword is that modern day what? Weapon, that 9mm AR-15, you know, a 50 cal machine gun or whatever they used. So that's what Esau does. He bring that sword down on you tribe members.
ICE has said he didn't follow verbal commands and tried to run over an officer. Agents firing in what ICE says was self-defense, hitting him.
And you notice they always talking about somebody trying to run them over. You know, always someone trying to run them over. If a nigga hop out the car with a mask on over his face, you know, with a weapon, you would think that you would have a right to defend yourself. But here in America, Babylon the Great, you Negro, Latinos, and Native Americans, you don't have that right. You don't have a right to defend yourself. You know, you have a right to what? To be carried by what? To carry by 12. It's like, let's keep going. Let's finish the video.
He later died in the hospital.
Undocumented migrants are humans. I just want all Americans to know that my dad was a hardworking man, a family man, who wanted nothing more than to put food on the table and to watch his sons achieve the American dream.
His sons calling for an independent investigation, saying their father was doing nothing illegal and would have complied had he known the men in unmarked vehicles were officers.
The vehicle was unmarked, and frankly, no lights or no sirens. So you have to ask yourself, if you were followed by a black SUV and then had another one come rearing itself right in front of you, what would you do? If it's not marked.
Another issue that could hinder the investigation, the agents were not wearing body cams. A Homeland Security spokesperson is blaming Democrats and the partial government shutdowns for the delay in issuing them to officers. Lionel Moise, ABC News, New York.
The brothers say their father.
That's enough of that video. Go back to the scriptures, man. Let's go to the book of 1 Peter. The book of 1 Peter, chapter 4 and verse 17. It says, "For the time has come that judgment must begin at the house of power Yahweh. And if it first begin at us, what shall the end be of them that obey not the gospel of Yahweh Bahashem Yahushua?" You see, judgment is going to begin at his house. Of you Negro, Latinos, and Native Americans. That's his house. The 12 tribes of the children of Israel. Judgment. Esau started the year off, judging the northern kingdom. And Esau is going to continue to what? Increase, his judgment, his hatred for you Negro, Latinos, and Native Americans, man. So we'll close it out here. Let's go to the book of Lamentations. Should have it pulled up. The book of Lamentations, chapter 4. And we'll start at verse 16. The book of Lamentations, chapter 4 and verse 16, it says, "The anger of the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahushua have divided them. He will no more regard them." See, we're coming into this time period that the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahushua is not going to regard 2/3 of you Negro, Latinos, and Native Americans, man. It said, "He will no more regard them. They respect not the persons of the priests. They favor not the elders. They respect not the prophets that are on the highways and the byways." They tell us to get the hell on, that we preach and hate. And the only person on the earth that's hate everybody is Esau Edom. Look, Nero is a prime example. The nigga can't get along with nobody. All the nations, a case in point is that the nations are what? Are saying, hey, man, we're tired of this nigga. Esau is tired of Esau. It said, "The anger of the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahushua have divided them. He will no more regard them. They respect not the persons of the priests. They favor not the elders." Verse 17, it said, "As for us, our eyes as yet fail for our vain help. In our watching, we have watched for a nation that could not save us." You Negro, Latinos, and Native Americans, y'all don't depend on Esau Edom, the so-called self-professed white man. What? Y'all go back to, now you got to go back to the politics. The Republicans are blaming, the Democrats. The Democrats are blaming the Republicans, for this ICE invasion that's taking place here in America, Babylon the Great. Verse 19, let's see what verse 19, this is Lamentations 4 and 19. "Our persecutors," verse 18, Salaki. It said, "They hunt our steps that we cannot go in our streets." Well, yeah, you can't, you Negro, Latinos, and Native Americans, more specifically right now, the Northern Kingdom. It says, "They hunt our steps that we cannot go in our streets. Our end is near." Lorenzo Salgado, his end is near. "Our days are fulfilled, for our end is come." 1 Peter 4 and 17. The Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahushua gonna make judgment start, at his house. which his house is you Negro, Latinos, and Native American, the house of Israel. Verse 19, it says, our persecutors are swifter than the eagle of the heaven. They pursue us upon the mountains, and the mountains going into what? Cities. Mountains, they lay wait for us in the wilderness. You know, they lay wait for us in the wilderness, man. So in that wilderness, also, matter of fact, let's go to the blue letter real quick. Let me pull this up in the blue. Let me pull this up in the blue letter, Lamentation 4:19. Let's get the blue letter, and we're gonna close it out because I want to prove these words. Let's go to the blue letter Bible. Let's go to it quick now. Lamentation 4. Let's look up these two words real quick. 4:19. We're gonna look up the word mountains and wilderness, and we're gonna close it out. Strong's H 2022. Let's go to show the outline outline biblical usage. It's a hill, a mountain, hill country. Let's go to Strong's definition. Pretty much the same thing, but we know this mountain is America, Babylon the Great. That's what we know, that this mountain is talking about big governments, and small, and hills represent small municipalities or governments. So let's go back. Okay, let's go. Now let's go look up. Let's look up this wilderness. Let's look up wilderness. Strong's H 4057. And we're going to go to the outline of biblical usage. See? Around cities. See, they hunt our steps in the cities. You know, you can go, you know, we can look up that word as well. Listen to that word.
Strong's H 4057.
Hebrew word.
Midbar. Midbar.
We'll go down to the outline of biblical usage, you know, with the wilderness. Large tracts of wilderness around cities. You know, and that's how they hunt our steps in the cities. They hunt you Negro, Latinos, and Native American steps in the cities, man. So you have to look up these words so you can have a better understanding. So again, the book of Lamentation 4:19 said, our persecutors, Esau, Edom, the so-called self-professed white man, and his unrighteous slave patrol, his unrighteous ICE department, our persecutors are swifter than the eagle of the heaven. They pursue us upon mountains, and you know, in big governments, small governments, and they lay wait for us in the wilderness, in cities. They lay wait. They track you down. And what? And they don't care if they kill, you know, the wrong person, because collateral damage is something they're accustomed to doing. So I pray that this lesson has been edifying. I want to give all honor, all glory, all praise to the Heavenly Father, Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shah, Bahasham, Rekah HaKodash. I want to give double honors to my apostles, my bishops, my elders of Great Millstone. I want to give double honors to the high priest elders that taught those men. Salutations to you brothers that are present your bodies as a living sacrifice, pushing the gospel of the Lord Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shah, through the four corners of the earth. Shalom.